Hey, what is up, y'all? I'm Michael from Destro Designs, and we are live from Viper Den Studios. Happy holiday weekend. I'm sorry I'm a couple extra minutes later than normal. I tried to do the thing, so it gives me a preview, and you're like, okay, here's what it's going to look like. Here's how you're set up. Hit this button, and then I go into the studio. And then once I'm in the studio, that's when that icon comes up and lets you guys know that it's about to happen. Well, when I was going into that studio, this little preview screen where you can see what I look like, there was nothing. There was a little loading icon. So I was like, I waited, like 6, 7 minutes went by and it was still loading. And then I just tried to touch it like a child. I didn't know what else to do. I just touched it and then it stopped loading. And then it stayed like that for almost a full minute. And at that point I was panicked. So I had an incredible amount of open tabs in my browser, which is right through we're doing this right through like the internet. I go through the Chrome and then Chrome puts me into the YouTube. I had 114 inactive tabs, closed all those. And then, restart YouTube. I went back and everything worked. So a little later than normal. So my extra apologies. And in case you didn't see in the chat, it is happy birthday to our brother, Big Red. I won't lie, a couple of those minutes, I ran upstairs. I had two places to look, and I thought I either had a kazoo or like a party hat. And I was going to do something, but I couldn't find either. So, kazoo, the whole thing. Happy birthday, brother. That's awesome. I'm impromptu coming up. Well, I kind of make up everything as I go, but I'll be doing the happy birthday on the fly. There is nary a person out there that is as consistently supportive and overwhelmingly positive in his everything he says about, like, say, the work I do and other people. He's is an incredible pillar of the community, important part of the community, big pillar. And we want to celebrate him on his birthday today. So as we go along, we will be celebrating and we'll be referencing the birthday boy for sure. No, for real. It's very encouraging, to hear the things. And of course, I'm sure, I deserve the compliments and stuff like that, but just to hear it, it's super nice. So yeah, everybody in the comments, wish our boy a happy birthday. If you're out there on Twitter, somebody put it out there, let him know. We can all say happy birthday to him over there too. So hell yeah, brother. That's awesome. At 43, nice. I remember what it was like to be 43. Well, let's see. No, I just turned 46. So yeah, three years ago. Once you hit a certain age, right? Once we get over 40, I think that's pretty much it. I think 40 to 60 is where it's all basically the same thing. And then, after 60 is a whole other story. So absolutely awesome, dude. Happy birthday. Let me tell you, usually I also get a pre-show nap in a little bit, even if it's only for like a half hour where I just shut my eyes for a minute. And I did not get that this week. I have started off the second phase of this remodel where the second floor is getting gutted. And I had to do so much shuffling where everything that's not getting thrown out is coming down to the rest of the house. So that's why it started with that. A whole other side of the basement had to get finished so I could then make like a living room over there and everything. And so I had to move a whole bunch of stuff downstairs while bringing some stuff all the way out to where the dumpsters go. It's craziness. It was an unbelievably long day. But we are here now to celebrate our boy Big Red's birthday as we go along. We have a super cool, we have a super cool topic. Now, Just Another Jerk had referenced a different topic to me, and I'm telling you, I completely slipped my mind. We will be doing that next week. It was a very good idea, and I wanted to do it. And I just, like, as I was sitting there, first of all, I just realized that I hadn't even put out a promo for this week's show until this morning. Like, I remembered it hadn't happened yesterday morning, and I just never got to it. Yesterday was a long day. We're already past the point of return. Yeah. So, oh my God. So I'm excited to get into the topic we got, which is, and I made this distinction kind of where I said non-HasLab vehicle because everybody, the basic, like, if I just said, what are the top 5 vehicles you want? They're all HasLabs, right? For the most part, everything that everybody would want would be a HasLab. Or as our brother Colal 27 said, he gave me really good, like a regular vehicle like I had asked for, and then he gave me a nice category, because I did say, well, shit, give me the HasLabs anyway, because he was like, yeah, they're all HasLabs. I was like, all right, we'll give you those too, and he gave me a bunch of those, and then he gave me a super HasLab category, and I loved it. And we are going to touch on that too. So the topic is going to be good. Let's see here. I'm not going to curse. Every week I always go, oh, in the beginning of the show, I'm like, oh, it's been a long week. I'm not going to go that long. And that's the kiss of death for the timer, because then I'm just going to, I say that and then I go for like 3.5 to 4 hours. So I'm not going to say it this week. We'll see what happens. So a couple quick things. I had dragged my feet a little bit on, I've talked about it, the holiday fund. I just wanted to look real quick into the easiest, fastest way to kind of do it. And I think I've settled. I know I've kind of been saying that, I wanted to just think that for whatever reasons, the easiest way to do it. And I think I've got that. So I'm going to try to do it first thing in the morning before I get started on what I have to get started on. And then I want to get that out there. I really wanted to have it out there like a week ago, but we should be able to have, also wanted it to be done today, but again, I had to have all this other shit done. So all the holiday drive is going to be, I have had people that have donated figures already. And so in the Cobrathon that I'm going to have next week, we're going to have this, where I'm going to be live on the air giving away these figures to winners as the donations come in. Now I have some technical shit that I have to get figured out over here, but that is the plan. So also, Jess, I'll say this now, next week, I am going to be on a different night. It is going to be Friday night next week. I have, originally what I was going to have to do next Saturday was I'm on the board of directors for the girls softball league. It is our holiday party, right? But then I just, right before we went on air here, got the schedule for the basketball team, and we have a game at 7:45 on Saturday night. So I have no choice but to do it on Friday. The game won't be over, at best until I wouldn't be home until at like almost 9:30. I wouldn't be able to start it until 9:30, which wouldn't be the end of the world for our West Coast brethren, but for our East Coast brothers, that's just too tough. So I'm going to give it a go on Friday, which means I'll just have to get what I got to get done early enough on Friday. I'll be home. I'll have preparations. Now I really want to do a whole thing where I have multiple people come on and all this other stuff. That is going to be, yes, Roblox season, Cobrathon. Oh, I didn't go through and say what's up to everybody. So let me just put a bow on that. So yeah, the holiday thing, there'll be more details on how everybody can just, the whole idea was that what I said was, if everybody bought themselves one less figure through the rest of the year, right? It figures like $25-$30. Donate, get one less figure for the rest of the year. You donate $25-$30. It goes to a good cause. If we get more than expected, we will help multiple families, right? But as of right now, we have one of our own, for sure. I think I had said it before, like it kind of worked out in a perfect way where, I had to put it out there to say, if you're struggling, if this is the kind of help that you genuinely think you need, somebody's got to, you got to take that step and reach out. And this person did. And I think I had mentioned it also the last time that, like, I wasn't necessarily asking for proof on any reason whatsoever, but he was just like, just take a look at this real quick. And it was, very convincing that, there is an obvious, where sometimes life intervenes in a very negative way and there's only so much you can do, right? And even when the help kind of comes in a situation where there's like an accident, it doesn't always come as quick as you need it and in the time you need it, especially right before a holiday. So if we were able to send him a couple bucks, I think that, and him and his family a couple bucks, I think that would it would be incredibly helpful. So finally I'm going to get that out where the details are, where you can send a couple bucks, and then we will make sure that he gets it. And that's 100% of the proceeds, right? Obviously everything that comes in is going there. And then like next week, what we'll do is anybody, we have things to give away. So what we'll be doing is to donors that are during the Cobrathon, right? So you can donate now, and then your name goes boop, on a thing that's right here. So when the Cobrathon comes on, here's the stats of whoever has donated. I'll be able to look at that as the donations are coming in during the Cobrathon, and then during the Cobrathon, I'll have a random way to select people that have donated, and we'll be giving figures away. So I think that's going to be pretty dope. And obviously I paid for the shipping on everything, and it's a way to help out with, people that are donating. It's really nice. So I'd like to have a way where I can help out. So again, I hate to start the show right off by saying, hey, I never got this thing done, but here's the whole spiel again. But I think it's important. I think it is something that will be super representative of the community, right? And there will be some form of a photo of the family tree or something. I know this. I just always thought it would better to have them private, so it's just a dignity thing. They don't feel like they have to ask anybody. But just for the most part, so it's coming. It's coming, again, if you have to take care of your own house first, right? And so I don't want anybody putting themselves out there. I think everybody that I'm talking to right now is an adult and knows that, but I just wanted to make sure that was clear. All right, so going way back. Yep. So we got just another jerk in the house. What's up, my dude? Big Red, the birthday boy. There he is. Trees up, having a slice of birthday cake. I was like, oh no, that's definitely his birthday. And then I felt like, did I see that today? I was like, holy shit, I probably saw something online today and I just totally forgot, and I didn't even say anything. So I'm glad you said something, brother. Giant man-sized thing in the house. What's up? Snow Leopard. Hey, Snow Leopard made it for Big Red's birthday, so that's pretty sweet. I love it. Pop Cold Frenzy. What's up, brother? I'm gonna, you know what? Right after we do this roll call, Pop, I'm gonna talk about where we're at. Actually, Pop, do you want me to? Did we decide that was final? That last thing that we talked about? If you say yes, I will announce it right now. Snow leopard, yeah, snow leopard in the house too. I know it's the middle of the night over there. I love it. It's such a cool thing. What's up, brother? CG Horror in the house. I'm glad you can make it. Roadblock, what's up, my dude? Glad you made it. I think that's just about all I can see. Oh, Tex Thompson's here. What's up, my dude? Definitely gonna mention you in a few minutes here. Glad you can make it. New York Knight, what's up, my brother? Yep, it's a go. All right, cool. So actually, I'll do this right now then. So, hold on, let me write it down because I completely forgot. I had, as usual, not much time to prep. So, all right. So, to celebrate the figure count that I've been doing with Pop Cold Frenzy, it's now just about to reach 100, and so, as an incredible way to just kind of celebrate that, and also more giving back to the community, what Pop and I are going to do is very, very generously, he's going to donate three $50 gift cards to Amazon. And then I'm going to slap a figure on each one of those, right? So 3 members of the community are going to be selected, and they will be sent a nice $50 gift card and a figure for the holidays. Obviously the Amazon card allows you, it just allows you to get a whole bunch of shit, through Amazon right now in the holidays. There's nothing that you don't need from there. So and I think that's an awesome choice, and it's a super, super generous way for Pop to reach out. Now, what I wanted to do as far as the figure was, I want to give people what they want. And today I finally went through, you guys don't know what this looks like over here. I had a stack of shit that I had to separate. Like, what are my doubles? What am I keeping in a box? What am I opening? Like, dude, it's still in a lot of control, but at least I know what's what. And so yeah, I want to get a figure into people's hands, and whether it's recent or something that's kind of more or less going for a retail value, I'll kind of just have a pooling pick. So whoever wins, you'll just be like, okay, you're getting this gift card, and then once you decide exactly what you want out of, like, say, this pool of figures that I have, it'll just be, again, however, the first person that gets picked will have first choice out of the pool. Second person will have second choice. And of course, if there's something that's just not there and there's an option, we will obviously figure out what you want to get that in hand. So it's the holidays, and I talked, all summer about these were the kind of things that I wanted to do for the holidays, because I always know how rough it is. I mean, my parents did a really good job, and I don't ever remember not having shit under the tree, right? I have a huge family. I always had stuff, but I grew up in an area. I knew a lot of kids that didn't, and I know what that looks like. Even as I got older, I did a lot of work in inner cities and environments where I see a lot where people don't have shit, and it doesn't matter where you're from. This day and age, you could be living in a really nice neighborhood and be struggling just the way that things are. So just a good way to. I mean, that's going to be a randomly selected thing as we go. We will bust that out sooner than later, right, Pop? I'm right. I wrote that down. Yeah, I will hit you up tomorrow, and then we'll just finalize that last little detail. How we're going to select them. We'll put the post up, and then everybody can get down on that. And I think that's pretty awesome, right? And we're just doing that. All you have to do is like follow him, follow me, make sure you're subscribed over here, and then everybody that I'm talking to now has that. But all the other people that aren't or happen to come across it, then they get a chance to win $50 at a figure. I think that's. I mean, as far as just randomly winning something, winning a GI Joe and a $50 gift card for Amazon, where you could potentially buy 2 more GI Joes if you follow Pop stuff. You could definitely get 2 figures for $50 easily, and good ones too at that. So I think that's a pretty good deal. You could wind up with 3 figures, or of course, use it however you want it. So good. I'm glad we got that out there. So got to watch for all that coming tomorrow. And again, Big Red, thank you so much. I thought that was incredibly thankful. So awesome. How about them Haya toys? You all seen those? The latest one that is that's out there is the Gung Ho. And man, as much as I always like Gung Ho, and every like that particular look, it's an interesting look where like how do you get that turquoise barely there vest and get that to look right. So I always think that's super interesting. Get somebody's take on Gung Ho, and I think they fucking nailed it. And listen, I've said it 100 times on the timeline. I absolutely cannot start collecting another line or anything of the sort. That I just can't. But if something ever changed where I was to maybe dabble in something else, those freaking Hayas are super fucking cool. Now, that Alley Viper that they just came out with, I probably talked about it last week. Hopefully I talked about it last week. That Alley Viper looks amazing. And as much as I love the Alley Viper, it's always be a flawless diamond in my mind. But when I see little extra touches of black on that figure, I go, yeah. I actually have reached out. I'm trying to figure, I think somebody, my dude, Aaron Sparrow, I've just recently talked to him. I kind of reached out. I was like, hey, does anybody know who does kind of pink customs or whatever? And he was like, I do that. But I think we did follow each other. Anyway, he's hilarious. But I haven't reached out to him yet. So if he's watching, he's hearing it now for the first time. I want to have an Alley Viper just touched up a little bit, right? So one of the gifts that CG Horror had sent, one of them was, one of the many, I should say, was a Alley Viper. And what I want to do to celebrate that, it was a gift, but also to have a leader of like when I think I have 13 of them. So I want to have this guy here with some black touch-ups kind of all over the place. And I think that would be pretty awesome. So I'm going to try to find something. I mean, I might try to do some of it myself. The only problem is I don't ever really have the time, you know what I mean? And compared to the Hasbro Classified, they're just better. They look great. Never owned one. How's the quality compared to Hasbro Classified? So I don't. That's a great question, Big Red. Maybe somebody else in the group can answer better because I've never seen one in person. But what it looks like to me is that I think the difference is that it's just a 4-inch Classified, right? It's got that level of detail, but maybe when it's pushed down to that 4-inch, it just looks better because it's smaller. Like the details are. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I feel like the scale is what makes them pop so hard. Well, obviously the design and the follow through and everything like that. Like the Vipers have that more of a mask where the solid part is like, the battle mask only, it comes up like in a section like here, and then it's just across the eyes, which it looks cool, but I'd rather have that look a little more like the regular. But yeah, man, even that Major Blood, that's the one where I saw and I was like, oh fuck, I got to get away from these things. And I was like, X, get out of here. because they're awesome. But yeah, if something ever happened and I was like, oh yeah, I have this extra money and I want to buy this other line of shit, I would 100% grab some of those. Speaking of which, there is a lot of other cool shit, right? Like I see a ton of cool stuff and I appreciate the fuck out of it. So like our brother Mark Potter from across the way, he has a bunch of those Monster Force and Action Force. I don't know if they're two different. I sound like an idiot, but yeah, I think those are two different ones. But he's just got a bunch of these different figures that are all incredibly awesome, right? Or if you look at like a dude like our dude Thanos that just made the paper. I think everybody probably saw that on the timeline. I think his the local paper had him in a cool little expose talking about his great collection of figures, which seems right? If you've ever seen that room, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is definitely of note. So if I had a newspaper and heard of somebody that had something cool like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, we got to get that. So yeah, that Alley Viper, Big Red, that Alley Viper did look incredible. Yo, it looks crazy awesome. It, dare I say, the coolest fucking version I've seen. I'm being reactionary by saying that, obviously, but yo, that looked pretty incredible. Snow Leopard. I'm sticking to 1/18 scale O-ring. So many awesome action figure lines out there right now in different sizes. Great time to be a collector. Totally great. But yo, listen, that's if I could have a complete collection of anything, it would probably just be the original 1/18. I mean, these classifieds they've really picked it up. I think they're in full stride now. And they're coming out amazing. But like, oh, if I were like you, Snow Leopard, and I had a bunch of these other ones already, that's a perfect line. That's a perfect line to just like, I'm going all in on this, and that's fucking the one. Baroness with purple tips. What is that? Baroness with purple tips? Is that the Hayatoy? So is that what you're talking about? Just another jerk? The Hayatoy with Baroness's purple tips? That's pretty cool. Monster Force figures are pretty cool. Big Red. Yeah, they are awesome. What really gets me on those is the chest rigs, right? The way that they have them. I think, yeah, Haya Forge. All right, so I didn't see that. I was kind of scanning through the other day, and I stared at the Major Blood. That took most of my perusing time. So I'll have to go back and take a better look at Baroness. But yeah, just another jerk. That Monster Force. Something about their chest rigs. It's got the sidearm pouch right here in the middle that you can kind of have it go look either way. Just they have like the two almost like flashbang cans right here or something like that in the pouches, but you can take them all off and move them around. Yeah, those figures are no joke. Those are legit action figures. Like for real, those are really fucking awesome. And like our brother Mark does, he just puts all these heads on different ones and makes it look even better. So he has actually like popped a beachhead head onto a couple of these like commando ass looking dudes, and perfect. You're like, yeah, that's it. Like if Beachhead just were to wear anything other than his OG rig with all his 9mm fucking clips, if he had something else besides that, it would be like, bang, that's totally it. So yeah. Really, really cool. Gotta watch that. Toys. I'm talking about toys. Beachhead is a toy. Anybody knows why I'm making that distinction. You understand. Skeletron Struck looks badass too. Yes, Popco Frenzy. So the stuff that just popped off is pretty dope. Now, again, and I probably sound like an idiot. So I saw there was like the red one, the Red Shadows ones, and then there was like a green guy. And then I remember seeing, again, I don't even know because I know they have smaller ones, but then there isn't these like the Preternias. Is that what they call them? Yo, there's like the one Preternian. I think this one's been out for a few months, but he's got like double Gatling guns on his hand or something like that. Like just insane, awesome detail. Like had this cool ass color green. Like what? So yeah, dude, they're not all that. I think that none of that shit is playing for real. Actually, a gentleman in our brother Jeremy's group, the Pit, a G.I. Joe group, is holding a raffle right now, and he has that Robo Skull, right? I think that's pretty sought after. If you're in that group, you can buy yourself a couple tickets. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember how much it was, so I don't want to guess a number. But yeah, it's a pretty cool. I think it doesn't come with a figure or the 1/18 scale seat adjustment, right? You don't get that. It's just the Robo Skull. But I think that thing is pretty sought after. Skeletron is doing 3 3/4, 4 and 6-inch lines. Oh my God. Holy shit. Well, I mean, if you feel like, if the company is like, oh, people are collecting all of these and we can like get everybody that has it, and you're just kind of like using the same design, just shrinking it and fuck yeah. I mean, it seems like the move. I mean, then you still have to do all the tooling and stuff. So I don't listen to me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Very cool. So yeah, I definitely wanted to bring that up and talk about that because it was that Alley Viper obviously sent me to the moon. I thought it was super, super cool. But then again, then I saw that Gung Ho, and it's just so hard to do Gung Ho to make it look right. That turquoise or that toothpaste color, right? And I'm not ragging on it. Remember, I have always said, like, I always thought that Gung Ho was badass. And like, when you look at his uniform, you have to admit that no matter who you are, when you look at it, you're just like, why am I going to look like that? Because it just looks silly. But he's just such a badass character that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He looks awesome. Really, really cool. The hat, everything. It's just, it's badass. There was a kind of a debate, I don't even say a debate, but there was a variation of opinions on the size that Gung Ho should be in the classifieds. There's a lot of people out there that think he should be just as big as anybody else. And then there's some people that think he shouldn't even be as big as Sergeant Slaughter. So I think we can all hopefully agree, at least from some of the shit that I've seen in the comics, that Roadblock should be the biggest. Am I right? Shouldn't he be the biggest? Like, I wouldn't even, from what some of these comics that I see, he is 3 times the size of anybody else. Like when he's standing there with this huge gun, the people in front of him almost look, I don't want to say children-like, but it is comically big how he is in there, and he has his big giant 50 that he's always carrying. So yeah. What do you guys think? Who should be the biggest? Love Gung Ho being jacked. Roadblock in the house. So yeah, I think I definitely think that Roadblock should be the biggest though. But I agree that Gung Ho should be huge too, right? He can still be big. I feel bad that the people that were saying that he should be smaller and that in stature or smaller in size, that they're not necessarily here to defend their point, because I'm sure they would say something and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. His kingpin size and should reflect that. Yes, right, exactly. I think Roadblock just said it best. He's kingpin size and should reflect that. 100%. Just like absurdly bigger than everybody else, right? Roadblock the biggest for sure. Okay, so I think so far we all kind of agree on that. And I don't mind, if where you maybe just because now. Ooh, here's an even better question. Despite how big Roadblock should be, right, as a figure, still yet should Big Lob be taller, not bigger? Obviously, he's going to be skinnier, right? Like that's so obvious. But who should be taller, Roadblock or Big Lob? Now, I'm sure if Jeremy or Conrad were here, they would have evidence in some fashion that says this is what it should be, right? Unfortunately, I don't think either of them are here at the second. But I don't know who should be taller. I think Gung Ho should definitely be big, just not the monster huge dude. Right, exactly. I agree. Roadblock. I mean, are we missing anybody that's supposed to be big? If we got like Roadblock, Gung Ho, Sergeant Slaughter. I know Mercer's supposed to be really big too, but we're not. I think those would be the ones, right? You'd have an absurdly large Roadblock, a little shorter and a little smaller Gung Ho, and then maybe Sergeant Slaughter and Gung Ho same size. I don't know, something like that. Looking at Big Lob, he at least 6'7", 6'8". Right. I don't know. That's the thing though, because I think in the comic books, Roadblock looks like he's 7.5 feet tall and weighs 700 fucking pounds. Big Lob and Roadblock are the same height but much skinnier. Okay, that works for me. Gung Ho should definitely be big, just not big like Monster. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, according to the comics, Roadblock is 6'10". Okay, sounds good. Just another jerk, heavy duty, right? Obviously super big, but notably smaller than, say, Roadblock, or at least, again, this is my very limited. I'm just kind of making this up off of looking at very little bit. Big Red Salvo. So hey, that's a great shout. Arguably, I figured it out the other day that when I'm trying to do by talking to people and asking who I want to show up in classified the most, and I basically said I have a 4-way tie And right now I can only think of 3 of them, so I'll come back to it. It was Blizzard, Salvo, and I always right. So it's basically I want all of them just as bad, and because I want them all so bad, I don't know. All right, so maybe the last one I'm going to say maybe is a little bit further behind, but Ambush, Blizzard, and Salvo I want in the worst fucking ways. I would rather have them take the time it takes to get it right than rush it out there, obviously. But but then Lightfoot. I really want a Lightfoot because I think it would be fucking dope. I look at what they did with Tripwire and I go, they will redeem Lightfoot from his 3 3/4 clown fucking. My brother Mark Fogarty out there loves to clown on Lightfoot, and he's not wrong. When every point he has is you can't deny that what he's saying is accurate. But I just love that figure. I always love that figure, and yeah, so I would love to see him in there. But dude, how awesome will Salvo be? How ridiculous will Blizzard be? And Ambush, right? They got to get those right. I feel like those are all obvious like deluxes, if not something crazy. Like you can't do either of those in like a 2-pack and just reprint a bunch of gear. You have to fucking do it right. They each have to have their own individual shit. And I really hope that maybe sometime soon we hear about at least one of them. But Lightfoot too. You gotta give me Lightfoot. Lightfoot doesn't necessarily have to be I don't know. Yeah, he does. Because he's got the big thing in front of him, and the backpack with the cable, which looks like a belt for you know what, but I don't know. Looking for, yeah. So yeah, what are you gonna do? I just went off on a tangent. Somebody mentioned Salvo, and I lost my mind. Yeah. So Big Red, Salvo. You're right. Salvo obviously going to be big. Maybe Salvo and Heavy Duty are about the same size, like just a little bit smaller than Gung Ho, maybe something like that. Or at least see, that's the thing though. When you have dudes that are running this heavy equipment, you can't just have Gung Ho bigger because he's supposed to be, or maybe you can. I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? Like how could you make Gung Ho with his big shotgun or his big, what is it, guys? Isn't it a grenade launcher or does he have a shotgun? I think Muskrat is a must-have. Okay, I'll take that. Blizzard, I think might be a deluxe figure. It has to be. I just so happen to be looking directly at, because I still haven't opened it, looking at this, right? Look at all that gear that they gave Snow Job. You can give him basically all of that, but you're going to have to figure out how to turn the backpack into the thing that you put on it, right? You know what I'm talking about, Red? That's the part that they can't fuck up. That's what made that figure. That's what one of the it's probably why I love that figure the most, because you could turn them skis around, and with them handlebars, he was riding something. And if you position his knees on the skis in the back just right, and he's holding on, it's obviously absurd, but it's what made it for me. So they gotta get that right. Still need 89 Stalker in his kayak. Yes, Big Red. That is a must-have, right? He's not on my list there because just when I was a kid, I just don't have that. I love G.I. Joe, but somewhere in those later years, I always loved Destro and Snake Eyes. But then when Beachhead came, I was like, oh my fucking God, yes, give me more of this. And then for whatever reason, like I think it's maybe, I have to go look, like in 89, they had a bunch of people that came out, like the Alley Viper, and I think Salvo, 89 and 90. Like, I know there was a lot of figures that maybe I personally don't like all that much, but they're still, like, those years, like, really had me, like I always say, like, staring at Alley Viper card art or Shockwave card art, because just, like, how awesome it was. Like, I had the figure in this hand, but I would just stare at the card art and imagine so much different shit just from basically looking at it. That's why I always talk about how revered I am about the, about that card art. So, grenade launcher. Oh, it was a grenade launcher. Thank you, Red. Thank you. Birthday boy in the house. If you're just joining us, it is Big Red's 43rd birthday. Make sure you say hello and happy birthday. God, I am like extra parts tonight. Very cool. Very cool. Have you gone over and got yourself a package to support the Kickstarter for TV Cobra? Definitely just want to mention that again. That Kickstarter is live. Darn it, I'm the worst at this. I 100% should have the link in the comment section, but I had that technical difficulty in the middle and I was losing my mind. But they have a bunch of different packages that you can check out, stuff that you will get from them to support and get them going on season 2. So it sounds like season 2 is going to you're going to get that action report like we all want and love, and then there's going to be more. They're upping the game. They're giving more. But you're going to get stuff back, right? If you look at the different ones, you know, depending on what we're a group that has always gotten physical stuff, right? With our media, you know. So it's like when I pay for something online and like you just don't get a CD case or anything like that, like I hate it. It's just I feel there's like a massive disconnect, right? I always felt like you got so much of the art of music came on the fucking inside CD sleeve and on the CD itself, and how they arranged the songs, and you got to see that on the back, and like it was just a whole other world of what this group chose to represent themselves with, right? Was a fucking like a physical piece of media, and I feel like when you go and you support TV Cobra under Kickstarter, you get something like that. You get a thing, right? Just depending on what package you want. And yeah, so there is a ton of ultra cool fucking shit. Like not just like, oh hey, here's like a couple stickers and some things. No, this is for real art that our boy Tex Thompson and Anchor Viper have gone hard on creating. In my opinion, it's worth it. So if you haven't done it already, and I know it's Christmas time and we've got a lot of other stuff happening, but go over, take a look, see if they got a package that works for you, and give it a shot. So shout out to Tex Thompson and Anchor Viper, my homeboy and homegirl. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Yes, actually I wish we talked already, but yes, if you're still in the house, thank you for coming. Yeah, so go over, support sorry, my phone is about to fall off this thing. Yeah, go over and support our brother and sister, and let them get all the finances going, and so they can get started on creating some more awesome shit. Because I love the first season. I don't know about you, but I absolutely fucking love it. So I am ready for some more. So here we go. Back to it. Snow Leopard. The Blizzard pack could be done if they make it longer. Make it a piece can slide out from the bottom of it. Right, exactly. Kind of what I had said, I think, before was that if it just was like this and then it folded back, like Doc's fucking, like Doc's stretcher, the classified stretcher, just make something like that folded down. But I see what you're saying. If it was like in the bottom and it just boop, snapped out a little bit to catch more of his body, boom. That would, I mean, how dope would that be, right? I don't know how the fuck I'd take pictures of that, but I'd find a way. You know, I have to make something. I'm actually just been getting into that. So we just recently got snow. And I realized that I was like, oh man, I should do something. And all of my snow serpents are still in the pain in the ass to get out boxes. But then, you know, boxes have slowly become an issue. I can throw them out, and I have to find a place to store them as much as I want to have them here. But like I said, I had to shrink the studio a little bit to at least, if only temporarily, but you know, to accommodate these big changes that we're having. I had to take the Christmas stuff out. I have to store air conditioners over here. It's a whole bunch of shit. So, hey, Matt from Mo's Mine is in the house. What's up, my brother? Glad you can make it. Yeah, so I almost wanted to take a couple figures out and take a couple shots. Our brother Conrad Hauser had gotten to that a little bit already. I saw that he had gotten, oh man, yeah, he had his the deluxe snow serpent, the regular snow serpent out riding on a surfboard. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, so I definitely want to get those snow serpents out of the box. I have a funny feeling that I'm really going to enjoy, you know, fucking with those things for sure. So yeah, we all kind of agree that it can be done, and it should be a big, fucking, really ridiculous. Well, I'm saying really ridiculous at least. Package that he comes with, and they can't two-pack it. I can't stress that enough. It's gotta have its own individual deal. Because again, the 2-packs come with a lot of stuff, but it, like with the exception of Short Fuse having that dope backpack and this motor around, like all this other stuff. Yes, okay, then that is good. But for the most part, the two, Jesus, you know, the Night Force 2-packs are really dope too. But anyway, so we've got lists to get to. But listen, I'm doing some opening tonight. I did Mainframe last week, and You all saw the pictures I took. Y'all are very complimentary. I love the way the pictures came out. So I tried to recreate that with the spirit and low light picture where I have to use a very soft light. So I also have a way to tone the glare down a little bit, but it's still editing editing a photo a little bit. And I don't use AI. I just use a color. It just adjusts like the contrast up and down a little bit just to tweak it and make it look right. But you have to take the picture right in order to tweak it the right way, right? So the way that the picture came out with mainframe, breaker, and fucking dial tone, it was perfect. I want all my pictures to look exactly like that. And so I tried to recreate that with the spirit and the low light, but I kept using the one particular type of light. It was that little tiny LED that I was holding back and above them. And to try to get that effect with the eyes where the shadow kind of shades parts of their face. And I wasn't back far enough or something because I couldn't get the glare down enough. I still like the way the picture came out, and so did you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. But at the same time, I feel like it could have been just a little bit better. And honestly, so the pose you guys got was low light on a knee, looking down his scope like this, and that was one of the first pictures I took, and then I took a ton of a completely different position with low light behind Spirit because Spirit is incredible. That figure is awesome. Both of them are, the original one and that one. It looks so incredible. I think I have it right here. Yeah, listen, I almost didn't get these because I absolutely love their originals so much. I wasn't even gonna get these because I just was like, oh, I'll never use them. Guess what? This figure is sick. Now I got a gridiron gun on him. We got a sniper rifle on the back. Just stop. Forget about it. It's fucking incredible. That huge giant backpack just looks so right. His satchel too. It's just right. Now, low light came with that stupid gun, that the ice bat or whatever the hell the polar bat came with, and I didn't like that one either. Now this dude's got another nice big huge backpack with the lights on it. I think that's Tunnel Rat's backpack. I gave him the gridiron gun. This figure is just so fucking awesome. I do wish the hat and the goggles were not this color. I wish they were brown. Even if they were a lighter color brown than this, just the blue on the goggles is almost too much. I might black them out. I have a funny feeling if those goggles were blacked that it would look really cool. Alt color on Freedom is very nice. You are correct. So this pack is insane. Expect some more pictures. I'm probably gonna, so again, like I said, I had a completely different pose with low light behind him, and the gun was down like this, so you can see more of his face and the colors on his chest because it looked really good. But in the end, when I went back and was selecting and looking, I was like, oh no, this one where he's looking down the scope is the one. This is fucking dope. But it's incredible. I'm sorry when I do this that when I start, I take these figures out and I'm just like drooling over them and I can't fucking stop. But dude, this Spirit is off the hook. That shovel in the back. He's got that big buck knife with the custom handle that you can see. That's why I try to position the gun as best I could, have it low so you can see as much of that, and then have him kind of look into the side. Oh, God, it's so dope. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. And it's really just not telling the point that I've been making for a while that it, as much as good of a job, and this, I'm not faulting anybody for this, but I'm just saying, when they do the digital renders and stuff, and you're kind of like, you look at it and you may like it, or I may be on the fence about a figure, and I'm just like, I'm just not sure, like the color of it. Again, like those, and even like the promotional pictures. I thought I had something else over here too. So like the promo photos for it, even when I looked at those, I was like, yeah, these photos are great. I don't know if what would I do with them? Where would they go amongst everybody else? And I've gotten over that, whatever you want to call that, whatever ism that is, where I'm just like, oh, this doesn't match anything, so I can't, use these. But it now, I now have this idea that it doesn't matter what I see when I'm looking at that photo or the promo or even what somebody else does. But then it was just one day I was like, you know what? I saw one picture that I had seen 1,000 times, and one day I looked at it and said, "No, man, I gotta have those. I think I have to have those." And the second I took them out of the package, um, that particular 2-pack also signified something new that I've been doing. I try to open them as soon as I get them because I'm telling you, I there's probably 40 something figures that I've got recently that have just kind of stacked up and I haven't opened yet. Now, with that said, a lot of them are like I got those 8 Crimson Alley Vipers from Walmart. I have the other ones that are open, so that just, but like I just they boxed up. I still have my MMSs, which I have. The next big massive scene is going to be with the Outpost and Mark from Moe's Mine with the Awe Striker and all of the attachments from Moe's Mine. Moe's Mine has that fix for the roll cage. Dude, it's super easy to put on and it's 100% better. Like I have not lived. I did not allow that Awe Striker roll cage to take years off of my life, like I heard it did to my brothers and sisters. I went great. Matt was nice enough to send me the solution so I could try it firsthand, and it is amazing. I will crack that out in a little bit. And the backpack attachment thing is perfect. It's just it's an excellent way to try to get, just you have all this extra stuff. Now, I know everybody likes that original look, right? A lot of people are getting that cannon that goes on top, that look to get that original look, and it looks awesome. I kind of like it the way that it is with all that, with the extra seat in the back. I mean, that 50, maybe I wouldn't mind it if there was something that something else that I could put there. But and definitely, I know Matt from Moe's Mine is working on a front gun. Didn't you say that, Matt? I definitely need a gun for the front. That one that they had ain't doing it. That's like I don't know how to try to get away with that. You ain't fooling nobody. So yeah, I did not let that take years off my life messing with the roll cage. I put the little fix right on, nice and stiff. Everything came out perfect. So I've been trying to open stuff as best I can. The only, again, I have so much that the way to store it is I don't have shelving for me to properly stand them all up, right? And then I have to put their gear in bags still because I can't have figures falling over and gear going everywhere. So y'all that have these massive collections, what do you do? Because I want to have displays, right? I want to display the Hiss and those guys and everything. But the thing is, but then I've got 3 missile systems, 3 Stingers. Where am I going to put all this shit? I know some of you are watching me have this crisis in real time when you've been dealing with it for years, but I got all this cool stuff from Moe's Mine and more coming, so I'm just it's gonna wind up being where I'm gonna have this area right here. I've kind of said it before. It's just gonna be a multi-tier thing, and I'm absolutely going to have to put boxes in totes and somewhere else. I can't part with them, but I sure as fucking gonna be able to have figures and these boxes. And I believe me, I've thought about trying to use some of the space that's out in the shop, but you guys saw that shop. It's chock full of stuff. And I'm going to be like doing projects out in there stuff. It's Christmas time. So it's the dust, forget it. So if you think you've been fighting dust in in your toy room itself, which I'm sure you are, especially if you have a forced air system. All right. So let's see. Should we open some figures to get to the list? Let's get to the list. You know what else I was going to try to maybe open tonight was this. So I have kind of a super cool shot that I think won't be super difficult. I just have to, I just got to get it set up, but I have to take this creep out. It is insane. Really. I mean, I wouldn't even know how to, if somebody showed me this and they were like, what do you think he does? With never seeing it before, but even with being like, okay, this is an action figure this is some kind of figure. What do I think he does? I mean, honestly, Mad Scientist might kind of be somewhere in the top, but I wouldn't have any idea. I would be like Carnival Barker, sort of, I mean, holy hell. But he's an incredible character. As far as as far as G.I. Joe goes, I mean, if you think about, he's pivotal in so much, like including Arise, the Suspension Arise. But oftentimes in a lot of episodes, like he's got something going on. He's in like all the freaking episodes. So I'd have to say he's part of like the Cobra Command, and a pretty cool character. Which By the way, I wonder, did we confirm this or not? So, man, maybe I should confirm before we say, but it is freaking Saturday already. So I believe that I am. You know what? Let me try to confirm that before I say anything. I'm 95% sure that it's all set, but I have to really try. Let's see. All color up for him is very nice. I'd say he's a clown. Stevie, what's up, my brother? Glad you can make it. Yeah, he's a clown. Right? Every evil organization needs a mad scientist. I would have to agree. I would have to agree. The more as I was saying that, and the more I kept looking at it, I was like, maybe fucking mad scientist would probably pop up because he does look weird in that way. So I thought that was crazy. Stevie Z, did you give us a list, my brother? Maybe you didn't see it. So if you got one, hit me with it right now. What we're doing is most wanted vehicles for classified non-HasLab, right? Now, if you have a couple of HasLab, I'll take them and talk about them anyway. But basically, I'm thinking about what are we looking for in some of those ones that's smaller, right? Like which ones would we be, and it could be like like the Stinger, and what else do we got that's not a HasLab that I think we can base everything, the fucking the claws are pretty wide, but that they're not a lot of plastic, but like the snake armors, those are pretty big. Oh, real quick before we get into this, I just wanted to say this real quick. So I finally got around to just putting these together because I got two sets. I bought one, I bought three, gave two to CG Horror, kept one. I never put it together. I just took the Trench Viper out, and then I traded somebody for another set, another complete set, for a Ghost Viper and something else. I don't know, Ghost Viper and something else. It was a great deal. But I don't know what everybody was complaining about. I mean, it's not anything. I understand it's definitely the shape of a porta potty, and while it's not much bigger than that, but yeah, if you put two of them together and you pop all the stuff it came with, the sandbags and everything, I don't know, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd still rather spend my money on something from Mo's mind, 100%. But these are pretty fucking dope. The weathering on the panels and all of that, like the pimple mark, like the pock marks, the rust, the different levels. It's got some like right around the hinge. I can't see if you can see it. Like around the hinges, how it's got that gray weathering from like obvious use and shit. I don't know. And the stuff that came with it came with a fuck ton of dope shit. Of course, the box is over there. The sandbags obviously are one position only, but still not too bad. It's two little lights. You can put the big 50s that come out of the front in different positions, like out of the. I don't know. I know it's not anything ultra spectacular. And again, I'd rather spend my money on getting like an outpost or a bar from Mo's Mine. But I think if you get the Trench Viper, and it's just kind of like, okay, so if they're originally 55 and a figure is usually 30, so all the rest of that stuff for $25, I'm like, it doesn't seem like an awfully bad deal to me. They need to be multiples. Yes, I agree. If you have just one, it leaves a lot to be desired, right? Because then if you got one guy on the roof, one guy in it, and then maybe another guy around it with one sandbag, you look like you're packing a lot around one thing. But in volume, yes, they look great in volume. You're correct. CG Horrors, because they have released so many dope divers recently. Okay. Oops, CG. Here we go. Devilfish. I'll tell you this right now. We all want a lot of the same things, and that there's nothing wrong with that. They're all very obvious. Devil Fang, Devilfish, Water Moccasin. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you, sir. Did Stevie give us our? Oh, here we go, Stevie. Polar Battle Bear. The Armadillo. Let me tell you something. You guys would probably be shocked at which one is the most asked for, and it is honestly up at the top of my list as well. All right, awesome. Yeah, Stevie, we got a few that are similar. CG, same with you. All right, hold on. We got New York Knights. I'm writing so fast I can't even read it. I gotta slow down. Iceberg and a polar bear. Okay, take it. Ooh, right. So if you remember, Iceberg only came with like that one gun, right? Tragically under gun. So you could keep true to form and only give him that one gun and then put him on the fucking battle bear. That's what I'm talking about. Mindbender go insane from sucking his own gas from dentistry. That's correct, man. Size thing. That's exactly what he did. Feed me, Seymour. Oh my God. Who remembers that movie? What is it? Little Shop of Horrors, right? Dude, as a kid, that movie was freaky as fuck. That I knew it was fake, right? I had to be 6, 7 years old when that movie came out. And you knew it was fake as fuck. But when it got big and it was in most of the shop and it had a full personality and everything, that was weird as fuck. Boom, boom, boom. Matt, you got one for us, brother? A couple lists of anything you'd like to see come out in classified? I mean, I'd like to have you make them, but has anyone mentioned the imp? So I don't think anybody mentioned the imp. Hold on, let me make sure. Where is everybody? Still Leopard. Did you give us a list, brother? I don't have you written down. I felt like I saw you put something on a timeline. I should have that written down. I'm fighting the internet. The internet's a tough opponent. All right, very cool, very cool. But yeah, I just want let me put it to you this way. I know that the Fort mod isn't anything fucking super spectacular, but the outrage that people had over it, I don't know. When I put it together, I just didn't see it. I feel like you know what you're getting. But yeah, no, it definitely has to be multiples. And as much as I would like to see what it would look like with 4 of them, where I could fold the panels, together to form 2, I wouldn't want to buy 4 unless I got an incredible deal, because I do love the Trench Viper, and currently I have 3. I traded Jeremy for a Trench Viper. I think I gave him 2 Vipers when they were on sale. So I'm basically at the time paid $34 for a Trench Viper. I was like, I'll take that all day. And we were both very happy. It was a nice trade. So yeah. And the ladder thing that it has, the way that I had it set up was kind of nifty. And I was like, yeah, I have a feeling if this shot that I have in mind to put it actually right next to Mo's mine, the bar, I have a feeling that shot might look pretty good, like kind of from behind it. So, boom, 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 boom. So while everybody else is kind of tossing me, Matt, did you give me a list? Not sure if mentioned. Mudfighter. Mudfighter. Why am I drawing a fucking blank? Mudfighter. All right. Sounds good. So we are going to get right into the list then. So I got my brother Albo Army hit me up with the Arma motherfucking Zillow, and I love that vehicle. And I'll just say it now. I think it's the most said vehicle out of everybody. Almost a staggering percentage of people said the Armadillo. I love it. And one of the funniest fucking things about it is that it is one of the only very few vehicles that offer any level of serious protection for the driver, right? Now, granted, you're wide open, on top, but it actually has, like, you could duck behind it as you were driving and not take bullets to the entire body. Like, we all know the biggest culprit of that is the Havoc, right? The Havoc, yeah. With that big thing in the front that moved back and forth with cross country on it, dude. That shit, holy F. I mean, how ridiculous do you have to be? But yeah, the Arma motherfucking Dillo. I love it. And he also kind of added afterwards, he put the Sky Patrol Shark and the Asp. Also, Asp. You're going to hear a few people said that. It is definitely on my list. The Asp is fucking dope. I will talk about it a little bit as we go. I loved it as a kid. And even though it was supposed to be towed, you could still kind of like, move it around a little bit. And I'm trying to think, I used to tow it with something I think for a minute wasn't G.I. Joe. I'll never remember what the hell it was, but it was something that I remember thinking it looked cool and just fuck. Desert Fox and Stun. All right, we'll write that down. That Desert Fox is what's up. Stun. You'll hear a few people talk about that too. Very fucking cool. All right. So that was our boy Albo Army. Let's see. Okay, so we'll get Jeremy's right here. Jeremy gave us a Joe and a Cobra, and his Cobras were most of my list, but his Joes are killer. So the Wolverine, the Lynx, we need that, right? The Lynx, I believe, is the Mad Marauder version, and honestly, that looks dope. With the same, we could definitely use, Mad Marauder's Cover Girl. I know Jeremy's pounded the table on that. I've heard him say it before. But yeah, that would very much be a dope vehicle. Now, I think once you start talking about the tanks, you're like, okay, well, how big can we do it? How big can they do a tank without it having to be a HasLab? I don't have that fucking idea, but I feel like, like if you can do a Stinger and then just add not that much more, right, to the body, and then the missile thing on top is some more or something. I don't know. Just seems reasonable. To get that to happen. So that's great. And this one that I thought was cool. I didn't hear anybody else say it, and I kind of like, as soon as I admittedly had to look it up, I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is that? And I thought I had it in mind, but the name was throwing me off completely. But it was what I was thinking of. The Whirlwind. So that is another towable, right? It was like two huge, I can't remember if they were laser cannons or like Gatling guns, but it was definitely two of them. And it came with Windmill, I think was the guy, but it was an awesome weapon. It was a super cool thing to just have a figure in, like one of those things that sets up a scene. It was really dope. And it's like a perfect shout on that. So yeah, Whirlwind, that was another one of his, on the Joe side. The Tiger Sting. I wonder when we're going to start to see more of that. We've got we got the Tiger Paw, and then Duke came with the Ram Cycle. That was Tiger Force, right? And then I think that's it. You would think that maybe they're going to wait until they have a Tiger Force figure that they can do with the Stinger repaint on it to make the Tiger Sting, but I'm not sure. Hopefully we see that scene though. And then also, my boy Jeremy also says the Armor motherfucking Dillo. So, boom, way to close out the Joe side by having another one that everybody loves. So, on the Cobra side, he's and because we have like nothing for the Dreadnoks, this is absolutely perfect. He wants the Ground Assault and the Air Assault. So the Ground Assault was the Stinger repaint and the Ram Cycle repaint in Dreadnought colors. Both totally awesome. We need them now. Give them to us. And then the Air Assault was the Fang and the Skyhawk repainted like the Dreadnoks. Again, it's just, we don't. Yeah, Hasbro hasn't made a Skyhawk yet, but why won't you give it to us? Please give us this. So that, really, those are all ones that you could come out with, and I don't know. I don't know if you can just come out. How much are they going to sell at first? They could do anything as not a HasLab. They just want the guarantee. Yeah, that's true. Probably right. So that's a killer way to start off on the Cobra side. So again, here our boy Jeremy says the Asp. So, I don't know what it was about when you had somebody that was in a weird position, like laying down or like this or something, or in any way, like they laid down the Havoc and then they laid down. There's another one that I'm going to talk about. And I don't know. I just thought it was always got me as a kid. It seemed interesting and I don't know, kind of added some kind of weird element to it, just being in that weird ass spots. And also our boy Jeremy says to round out his Cobras, the Stun. Please give us a Stun where we can put a bunch of different figures on there. You got to give us what came with that? Was it the Lamprey? Was that the one with the big, or was that the Moto Viper? I can't remember which one it was. I know y'all know what that is. What came with the Stun? Was it the Moto Viper? Was it a Lamprey? I honestly don't remember. But yeah, so how fucking cool would that be? I look at, I look at the Stinger, and I always use that as some kind of of a guideline to where, you know, you see it open and close, and you're like, okay, the stinger could, like, we get that in the middle, and then, you know, how could we get it to like kind of open so it can, like, it would resemble that one in a way? Because I'm sure that's probably why we haven't seen a stun yet. Because it seems like a Moto Viper with the stun. Thank you, just another jerk. Snow Leopard, Moto Viper, Stevie, giant man size thing. Everybody hit me with the Moto Viper. Thank you so much. I'm glad at least one of the ones I said was the right one. Yeah, as soon as I said Lamprey, I was like, no, that's not the one. So yeah, I think a stun would be dope. Anything with like a rear gunner like that, I think it would look also very cool. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And mind you, you know, whenever I like look and I look at the stinger and I use that as like a size guideline, and then I always like get an idea in my head of generally what it would look like based on how it used to look, and then I always kind of think, like, how would Matt make that look? You know what I mean? If they let him make this one, what would it look like in that way? Because I know my dude would be crushing it on there. Where you go? Yeah. So Stun rounds out his Cobra side of things. Jeremy's Cobra vehicles, which I think is a killer list for sure. We're gonna slide right into Big Red's list. So here's the first mention of the Cobra Pogo. Everybody remembers that, right? And I don't give a fuck what you say. Well, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but I loved it. I thought it was cool as shit. Now you never really, or at least I never really imagined it like boing, boing, like boing. It was, you know, it just kind of went from one side to the other. You didn't have to think of it as like a pogoing or like a spring or anything like that. You just it just gets from one place to the next. And it was always synonymous, right, with the Cobra Commander, the Battle Armor Cobra Commander being in there, because he was on the box art, right? Isn't that what it was? I just remember him always being like in there, and then I think the commercial he was in it too, or something. I don't know, whatever it was. But yeah, that's a dope vehicle. Two oddballs, I think that came out at the same time, was that Pogo and the Buzzbore, or whatever. Was it the Buzzbore or the Boar? Whatever they called it. I just remember those two being like super crazy, but still worked, right? I loved how the side opened on the I'll keep calling it Buzzbore until somebody corrects me. On the side on the Buzzbore, like that vented like piece just like slid up. I thought it was awesome. So yeah, I was very young when I got that. I didn't realize it was Coco and thought it was like the moon lander. Ah, no shit. Wait, the Cobra, did it come with the? Did he actually come with that? He did, didn't he? I didn't want to say that because I was like, I don't think that's right. Nice. Okay, Stevie, thank you. It's Buzzbore. Big Red. It was one of those weird sci-fi Cobra vehicles that I loved about G.I. Joe. Right, exactly. I loved it. Both great, Pogo and Buzzbore. Nice. But yeah, I love those two. I thought they were weird as shit, but I thought it was fucking dope. So that's a good one, Red, with the birthday boy list. The Cobra Pogo. I love it. He also had another one, the Desert Fox. That's a dope vehicle. Now, when we get to Conrad's list, I legit had to Google some of them because like I thought I could see them in my head, but I was like, all right, some of these I got to make sure I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Desert Fox. I think did he have the Desert Fox? Maybe I said that wrong. I'm pretty sure he did. Yes, he did. I thought it was a super cool ass vehicle. If the color was like any other color, it would still look dope. But yeah, it looked fantastic, and I think we're gonna need some stuff. Like we have, you know, the Desert Scorpion came. We have previously the Snake Eyes, which I still haven't opened that yet. I'm dying to open that, the Desert Snake Eyes. And then Jeremy actually sent me this great where the fuck is it? I actually had it out here a minute ago. Jeremy sent me this. He sent me two of those Valveverse figures. Action Force or Valveverse are the same thing. They're great figures. And he sent me the one, I can't remember his name. It looks a little like a Beachhead, sort of, kind of, but he's got like the desert camo that matches just enough to where I have a pretty dope idea for a scene. But right now, everybody's using the tumbler, right? The tumbler that was $25. That's in the desert camo. Everybody's got that popping right now. As far as like, there's not really anything else. I know that the Sentry post came out and it had the Desert Scorpion guys in the promo photos. And that definitely looked cool, but yeah, we need some vehicles, and Desert Fox would do it. Now, the boy also said the Tomahawk. Now, I mean, I guess you could probably almost certainly just, you know, I think that would best be served as a HasLab, but it can we can talk about that because I think, you know, I don't know how many more vehicles they could do that would look cooler than that. Like that was a crazy fucking vehicle that had like a bunch of Joes in it all the time. It was delivering them. It was taking them. I don't know. I always revered it as an incredible fucking vehicle. It was turbo. I had it. I broke it. And never lived it down. So I'm gonna move on. Oh fuck! I wrote another one down, Red, and I didn't rate it well, and I don't know what that says. So the Cobra Pogo, the Desert Fox, the Tomahawk, and something else, bro. Maybe it starts with an S. Birthday boy, help me out. Christmas '88, Desert Fox with a team of Blizzard, Skidmark, Shockwave, and Repeater. Fuck yes. Yo, Shockwave and Repeater and Blizzard are three. Well, Repeater's a little fades, probably a little out of the top 10, but I love Repeater. Repeater was awesome. His gun was incredible, but you know, y'all know how I feel about Shockwave, and Blizzard is right up there as well. The Buzzbore, one of their play motions to run over an officer that failed objective. Brutal. Oh, nice. Them boys do good work over there. GI Joe, very, very nice boys. I reached out to them. I was going to try to see if anybody wanted to come on the show. I think there's a major time difference in it. Oh, speaking of how embarrassing is this, I'll just say this real quick. So when I was giving Thanksgiving shout outs to everybody, there were some people that don't even live in our country, and I was just like, oh, happy Thanksgiving. It happened twice. I did it twice to people that don't live in. Yeah, it was a little embarrassing, and I was just like, oh yeah, right. You guys don't do it Thanksgiving. My bad. Yeah, so Big Red. That's a great list, brother. Oh, the shark. That's what it was. Thank you. Jesus. I can't believe I didn't figure that out based on what I saw. So yeah, let me ask you, Big Red, and everybody else that mentioned a shark, if you're listening, how do you want your shark? Do you want the lay down with the face forward, or do you want the sit back reclining, right? Because I think it wasn't it the OG has Deep Six laying down, and then the Sky Patrol shark has the seat sitting up. Am I proper about that, or I just make something up completely? But that's how I kind of remembered. There was a lay down version, and then there was the sit up version. I think. Yeah. So that's another iconic one, and I wonder if they try to do. Do they do Deep Six with the shark? Do they try to like how do you think they do that? I think it would be cool to do both, just as long as you can. I mean, if you're getting again the Stinger, right, for reference, if you're getting something like that, a figure and a vehicle, but you got to figure the figures. You have to figure that the figure is going to be extra because it's going to be big. I would prefer seats. Laying down wasn't a thing. Nice. That's what's up. I think that ultimately that would be better for. I think that would be better for classified as well. The way I think laying them down, it would look silly. They'd be too big. You'd have to make the thing too big in the front to accommodate it. I'm not sure. There are some vehicles that I think would look cool with the laying down. I will get to that when my list comes. So Big Red, very good list. The Pogo, first mention of the Pogo, and the Pogo. I really do think that they could make that and make it look fucking awesome, like with the clear top. Something I was kind of hoping that they were going to do something with them when we saw the Battle Armor Cobra Commander, but I think O-Ring was all laid down. There's some 3D files out there with a sit-up two-seater, no doubt. I thought so. I could have sworn right, Matt from Rosemine. I thought for sure that Deep Six was laying down on that one. So nice. Joe is South Africa, Australia, and China. All natives of South Africa. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Very cool. Thank you, Stone Leopard. So yeah, Big Red, awesome list. Thank you, birthday boy. We're all here. Cheers to the birthday boy. Actually, that's cold. I got to get some good stuff here. Cheers, brother. I love this cup, even though I'm pretty sure I'm probably doing damage to my body drinking out of this plastic. All right. So we're going to move into our brother Colel. Gave me a very cool list. He's got a few, so I am going to so he gave me like a regular list, a HasLab, and a Super HasLab, which I thought was pretty cool. Oh man, my handwriting is terrible. I'll have to come back to that. So a Rhino. So the Rhino, I'm kind of drawing a blank. The Rhino is the Hummer, right? That is a super cool. That is a super cool fucking vehicle, which I remember. I didn't have it, but somebody had it. Somebody that I played with all the time. I'm assuming it was my cousin. Somebody had it because it was dope, and I remember playing with it. and I loved it. It was wide, thing was huge. So that is a great shout. Our dude also says the Arma motherfucking Dillo. That is the most requested one, and I again I think that they could make that real. I mean, again, just make it the size of the Stinger. It would be fucking amazing. I don't know. You don't even have to give us anybody. You know, you could do that, or I don't know, who could they throw in there. Who are we waiting on? The OG-13. Aren't we missing? I mean, no, Zap is coming, and then like Grand Slam or somebody. Fuck it, throw him in there. Wolverine. Another shout out for the Wolverine. Yeah, I think it would be great. I really honestly wouldn't be mad if they went right to, like Jeremy said, he had Wolverine links. So go ahead, give us the links with Mad Marauders cover girl. Nice. I think the Shark would work well with the Cobra Snake, where it opens and Deep Six just kind of in it like a pod kind of thing. I see it in my head, but can't explain it. Like pod status for deep dives. Yeah, right. That's what's up. Right. So it'll kind of pop open and he could go in and out of it. It's not necessarily a airtight environment inside that cockpit. That's just something he gets in and can get him from point A to point B fast. And it flies, apparently, because of the Sky Patrol does that. But yeah, dude, you're right. That's right, Stevie. I think that would be dope. I mean, I wish there was something we could do if we had like underwater. I mean, who's got anything to do underwater, anymore? But even nonetheless, I feel like an underwater shot where Homeboy is popping, that thing is coming off, and he's just kind of floating out of it. Forget about it. I think that would look incredible. I don't know where can I get a water tank? Fucking something like that in here, right? Don't give me. If you don't think I looked on Facebook Marketplace for a water tank that I could put shit in and take pictures, you would be wrong, because I absolutely did. In the end, I didn't wind up getting anything because I didn't have a spot for it, and I was like, I can't do it. I mean, unless something comes along and I have to do an underwater shot. But yeah, I think that's going to be the way to go. Easy. So yeah, he also said Wolverine links. Like I said, I'd take the links version. And one of my favorites, the bridge layer. So I feel like that verges for sure onto I feel like that sounds like HasLab territory, but who knows? Maybe they find a way to just make it. I mean, what are they doing? They got the Arctic Hiss. I can't wait to see the price points on the Arctic Hiss, and then I think some of these vehicles we'd have a better idea. With no electronics, no shit like that. How can we get a vehicle that's big like that? That is whatever. So yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna move on to that is his like regular kind of vehicles for like a regular main release. What he'd like to see in a HasLab is a whale. So don't we all? We'd all love to see a whale, and we talked about it a lot. It would just be really big. I told you, I think it was last week, I saw a 3D printed whale, and it was absurd. It was enormous, and didn't sit well together because it wasn't the best quality. I think the assembly maybe didn't go as well as it normally does. I think our dude struggled with trying to put it together because it came in pieces. They sent it to him in pieces, and he tried to put it together, and it didn't work out that well. I mean, and I think that is user error for sure. I think that those can be good deals to save yourself some money, but for sure, he's a good guy, but I'm not sure how well that went together. The hydrofoil, we all would love to see that, right? That would be fucking awesome if they could make that work. It's very similar in a way that there's all this shit on it, all this extra stuff, but I think that they could find a way to knock that out of the box. Another mention of the Tomahawk, because yes, that would be amazing, right? I can see lifelines, big red ass jumping out of the side of it as it hits the ground. I don't know what it is. I always like that dude being in that Tomahawk is always burned through my mind. Yeah. Oh shit, Firebat would be a good non-HasLab. I agree, but they're gonna have to wait till that they give us the Terror Drone. I don't give a fuck. I you know how mad I would be? Not mad, right? I'm not saying that, but yes, Stevie, a Firebat would look awesome. I think that they would nail that, but I want to see it coming out of the Terror Drone. So that actually, we'll talk about Terror Drone in a minute. The Thunderclap, which I did not look up, so I'm not sure what that is, but that is on our dude's list. The Night Raven, fuck yeah. I think that if you look at how big the Rattler is and Night Raven's bigger, I think that would be tough. That would be a tough go. But man, that would look awesome. If I see like what they did with the Rattler, I think a Night Raven with the detachable little pod on top, I think it would be fucking cool as shit. Um, and he also said a battle platform. Now, I think again, whenever I think of something like that, I think about Matt maybe, because I think that something of that size, I think would be cool. But I think the idea would have to be, and maybe there's a way to do it. Like if the battle platform was basically one main thing with like 4 posts. And if you could somehow take those posts out and fold that main thing even one time, and then put the legs onto the bottom of it, and it could just be like put away into a thing like this, and put just. I think if you had something like that, you would get a lot of people buying it, because if you could set it up in a couple minutes and then put fucking figures on it and take pictures and it looked right. I think that there is a world where something like that works, right? I mean, that's that stuff is modular in that way where it can be folded too. Like the bar, you can fold that bar almost down to nothing to put on a shelf. So it definitely that modular ability comes into play so much where it kind of folds in there. So that's exciting. Battle platform. Now he obviously mentioned things that I'm sure we would all want, right? He called it the Super HasLab, like the Flag, the Terradrome, and the Defiant. Now I still think that the Terradrome would be like they would call it a Super HasLab, like $800. Do you want it or not? I would be interested to see how it looked. If it came with a fire bat that came out of the middle, the colors were right. It was like a exact 1-to-1, just fucking enormous. Dude, I mean, how I'd have to buy it. I'd have to find a way to make it work. But if they charge $800, well, I mean, that's the thing. Is that even enough? But if it had a fire back come out of the middle, I would say yes, and I think that would be fucking awesome. So, a Defiant, everything I'm sure is doable, but at what cost? Do you want to pay $1,000 or something like that? And obviously a Flag. Now, if you think in your head where you're like, oh, how could we possibly do a Flag at classified scale? I'll tell you how. You can find it on the internet. Dude fucking printed one, and it actually looked amazing. It was 14 feet long. It was in his living room on the coffee table and came all the way through the room out into the foyer. I think he was charging like $5,000. It looked incredible. I don't know. Now I saw it was like the first picture when you looked at it. It was kind of like you couldn't see the whole thing at first, and then finally he got one angle of it where you could see like all the way down, and you were like, "Holy fuck!" And the only thing I wish I could see is a Rattler or even a Hiss or something for scale on it, right? Because it looked right. It looked like it was damn near 3.5, almost 4 feet wide and 14 feet long. And the thing was a couple feet high. The command tower, a couple feet high. Totally and completely out of control. Totally and completely out of control. I don't know how to say, like, and here's the thing. It looked like a house that had a wife in it. Now, no disrespect. I think we all know we're not the best decorators, right? You can look at a house and say, oh, this house has a person with an eye for decoration and colors and all of that shit, right? There's definitely somebody putting up with that 14-foot thing. Now, mind you, it was obviously up for sale because it had run its course. It needed to go. $200 for the files? No shit. Wow. Okay, so you've seen it then, man. Oh my God. That's crazy. Since the Super 8 Flying Fortress failed, I doubt they will try it. Well, I mean, dude, I think that's a whole other thing, though, brother Stevie. I understand, but he thanks his wife for letting him put up with it for the review of it. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So my guess was right. Yeah, I'm glad at least one person saw it. Yo, that's crazy. That is fucking nuts. I mean, what do you do with something like that, though, right? Like, I have a shop that is 24 feet by 20 feet, and there's nowhere I could put that in there that would not completely ruin the space. Like, I'd have to have a whole wall dedicated to that one side, to one thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you've got the space and you've got the extra money, then fucking goddamn right. Go ahead. Listen, if I had the space, I would have it in 2 seconds. I think I want to have it in the middle so you can walk all the way around it and put stuff all the way around it and kind of seize it. You know what was a dumb vehicle, but I had a blast with? The Road Toad. What's the Road Toad, brother? I'm trying to think what the hell it is. It's the same guy who made the Terradrome too. Stevie, I think it's a different guy, but maybe not. I think he just came out with a Mauler. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to check. Stevie, I don't know why. My first instinct is that there's a different one. Because, Stevie, I think you sent me a picture of a Terradrome that I had seen previously somewhere on the internet. And it was a pretty dope Terradrome. It was a 1-to-1, and it looked pretty huge. The colors were really sweet, too. Different dude. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, man, that's pretty sick. But don't get me wrong. Yeah, if I ever won the lottery, I'd be making a trip down to see Matt and have him hook me up with some shit. I mean, I feel like I wish the Terradrome. Somebody came up. I think it was Cletus Cobra. Maybe had said that like do a half a Terradrome that you could put up against the wall and you would get half of it. And I don't know. I need the fireback coming out of the middle. It would have to kind of be the whole thing. Although that was a pretty good idea from our brother Chad to maybe this is where you split the difference with how big it is. So sometimes the files are free on the site. No shit, brother. I would never even attempt it. I have the printer I have is perfect for the little stuff that I pop out, which mind you, I haven't even done in months. I really need to get that thing back up and running. But yeah, that's our boy Kalel. He had a great list. I'm gonna get to the rest of these in just 1 second. Y'all gotta give me 1 minute. I gotta step off camera. Man, it is freezing down here. I'm about to put this sweatshirt on. All right. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I'm down here. The windows aren't in, right? So I have everything is finished on that side of the basement. I just have to pop the replacement windows in. And so the ones over here are a little bit drafty. Normally the previous years when it was just storage down here and I had I would put this foam board insulation just over the windows to stop the draft. And I just haven't had time to do that yet because I thought the windows were going to be ready. But that's a whole other story. If you only had one printer, how long do you imagine it would take to print a flag? I mean, Matt could definitely answer that better than me, but I feel like that would take a very long time considering a lot of pieces would take hours on a clip. And I wouldn't even venture to guess how many pieces it would be, but I know, I mean, you figure Matt could tell us how much time goes into an atlas and then multiply that times something. A lot. I mean, Atlas is absolutely enormous, but 14 fucking feet. Holy shit. I think my measurements are right. I think it's 14 feet by like 4.5 feet. I think at that very wide point. And then obviously it tapers when you go down the runway. But geez, holy shit. That's insane. So we've had some excellent fucking lists so far, boys. We're about to flip it over. So my dude Rock Lockdown had a bunch of my favorites also. He's got the Cobra Fang. Man, I'm trying to think. Is it Fans Hobby that makes that thing? We were talking about it on when I was on Destro is My Spirit Animal 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, and we were looking at it, and I was I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where like, if it wasn't if it wasn't them trying to make a GI Joe vehicle, I would be like, yeah, that looks cool. But because I have this thing in my head that if it doesn't look exactly like that, then it's just not, you know. And the proportions were a little weird when they put the canopy on. It made the tail look super thin. I don't know why. Otherwise, it's like cool as shit looking. I just I don't know. I wasn't totally sold on it, but yeah, we need a Cobra Fang for sure. It's iconic, and I needed to go with, because to me, the snake armor, the trouble bubble, the claw, and the fang were like, and the hiss. That was it. It was those were all of Cobra's vehicles. Now, obviously, things like the moccasin and maybe some other stuff. But yeah. Fans Hobby Skyhawk is badass. Their fang looks bad. Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. CG Horror in the house, my brother. Hey, did you throw it? You gave us a list, right? You gave us a list. Oh yeah, Fang, Devilfish. Yeah. That's right. You're right up next. Yeah, she's also got water moccasin. Look. Anybody see J. Antonio Nunez got a aftermarket or secondary market made water moccasin, and it looked all right. The color was nice, and it had a windshield looking fucking thing in it. I don't know. It's a good one. Well, shout out to my brother if he's in the house. Yeah, water moccasin. That would be dope. He also said triple T tank. I think they can make that cool. I think that would look cool. We have so many. Yep, a short one. Oh no. How long? But I think we said something like 50 rolls of filament to print. Holy shit, 50! Oh my god. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, triple T, right? Right, Rock doesn't have to be huge. Just give us a little something that's, that just let us wet our beak a little bit with a triple T. I think a lot of people had that when I mean, like I don't think I had it, but like they were everywhere. Everybody that I knew had one. They were dope. The water moccasin had a small windshield, not a canopy though. Right, that's correct, Stevie. Nothing over the top, just had a little bit of windshield for that swamp spray. Dark Lines. Next on his list is the Dark Lines of Vader. I would love that. And honestly, I thought that they were going to come out with him in the vehicle. But then you see the one that he has with that launcher and everything. I think it's. I'm happy they put the detail into him like that. Give us the Vader later, because you can put anybody in the Vader. But how dope would it be if they came out with him? I mean, shit, I wouldn't even be mad if they gave us a figure with him, and I'd just put Darkline in it and have a figure for something else. He'd be like sitting in the thing trying to wait for it. So first mention of the Vader, bro, and I think that's awesome. Now he brings up what's obviously be like my number one non-HasLab is the Destro Despoiler. So I assume what is the size of, the Stinger. I look at that and again and I go, yeah, Despoiler, perfect. That'll be awesome. Like that's definitely what I want. So yeah, I think that's fantastic. Rock, that's a great list. Those were all super solid. Again, the Fang, I just so happen to have the one figure here. I took this out. I got another one because I just wanted another one to stand with it. But this is, I mean, he's wobbly as shit. But dude, this figure is dope, right? It really is a callback. Like I love what they did, the glow up to the trooper and the infantryman. Love it. But I do very much enjoy that these exist. I've come to the conclusion that I like that they give us the classified version of some stuff that looks a little different, but then they go straight up OG like this in the thing. I don't know. Some of them, like it's kind of strange how they did Shockwave and Firefly with doing like their super, like they did a 1-for-1 in the main line instead of in the retro, and it's not like they gave either of them like super bunch of extra weapons or whatever. But yeah, the triple T would be but a Fang with one of these OG troopers in it, I think would just be absolutely sick. I'd really love that. That's a great list, brother. I absolutely love it. Conrad's got a monster list. I'm gonna save him for last. So yeah, our brother CG Horror, he also said a Fang because it's such a staple of the cartoon. We absolutely have to have it. And I kind of, with having no information whatsoever, would assume that it would be coming sooner than later, right? It can't just not come. Yeah. So he also says a moccasin. I still am baffled how they came out with Copperhead and not the moccasin. It would have. I mean, I assume it would have been a home run. Maybe somebody would also know that. I mean, you would think that would be something, if there was any of the vehicles you would figure would come with that. To figure it would be that, right? You figure it would be that. So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I just hope that someday we get the Moccasin to go with that dope fucking figure. And don't sleep on. I don't think I have it close enough to get. Maybe this is it. Oh yeah, I happen to have one in the Python Patrol Copperhead. If you don't have this, listen, it's one of those things where like the original looking Copperhead is in fact what you want, right? That is the one, you know, that is awesome. But I feel like he becomes part of the Cobra Command by being the head of Python Patrol, and it's crazy dope, right? It's all the cool parts of his helmet, right? If you look, he's got that red right across his lips, totally perfect. And he comes with the machete in both versions, but this one's got blood on it. So CG Moccasin, gotta have it for sure. A lot of these I totally agree with, but forgot about because guys went ahead and 3D printed them. Yeah, right. Beachhead. Oh, what did I mess up, Stevie? Said somebody weird. Our brother CG also said a shark, which these are straight up iconic vehicles that I can't believe we don't have. I mean, with all the different at this point now, where we have things like wetsuit and divers and the 60th divers, like we could use a couple of fucking vehicles. He's the only Copperhead I have. I need the OG version. Yeah, Stevie, I don't have the OG. I don't think I have the OG version either. Do I? Yeah, I do. I think. I don't know if I have that or not, to be honest with you. I have to look. And then to end it off perfectly, CG says a devilfish. So it's like when I think of these little ass vehicles, it's kind of like, why don't we have these yet? You know, it just seems. Oh, you said Shockwave and Firefly. Oh yeah, no, Stevie, that's what I was saying. So they came out with a Beachhead and Firefly. The what is it, 10 and 21? But then they came out with the what looks like a retro version of Shockwave because it's like perfect in the main line. I thought maybe he would have got that same glow up that Beachhead got in the Cobra Island thing, and then they would have did a retro in the main line, but they didn't. And then the same thing with Firefly. Firefly got that OG look to not the Cobra Island look, the OG look, and then that was in the main line. I don't know why they did it like that. I'm happy. I do wish Shockwave came with his fucking. Instead of that shield, why didn't they give me the backpack? I mean, I guess if you're an urban person, you know, a shield would definitely come in more handy than a survival backpack. But I don't know. I just wish it was more of the exact thing. And that fucking give me that big ass silence. It was so yeah. But the devilfish, dude. Now that we have wetsuit, you have wetsuit, Beachhead, General Hawk. There's so many people that I picture in that little cool ass thing, and it would be. Like, I mean, just think the perfect size, right? Where you could just put a couple figures on there, kind of sitting on the side, and I think that would be fucking dope. Little Lucid Base, what's up, brother? Glad you could make it. Classified Python Patrol Copperhead was way better than I expected. Well, let me tell you, that is exactly the same way that I felt for sure. But there's so many other figures that have happened like that. By now, I just kind of expect it, right? Like if I'm trying to think what the first one was where I got it. Oh, like the Techno Viper. Now, I knew I was going to like it. The pictures looked pretty cool, but I remember when I opened that figure, I was like, yo, holy hell, that figure is crazy cool. And that started a trend where I started to like be a little more positive and hopeful. And then just like recently it happened with the Spirit and Low Light 2-pack. Like I kept saying, I don't want it. I don't think that looks like I like the original versions of these figures better. I don't know. And then one day I completely changed my mind and I bought them, and now I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna love them like that package. Grim Viper was no different. I thought that this figure was gonna be okay. I originally was like, I'll order two, but I'm just not so sure if it's anything I'd want more of. Right, two of them with the minigun, but dude, holy crap, they're amazing. The color just I don't know how to explain how sometimes the color just works so good. Like this white that's white and light gray on the head how that winds up working with the camo and the brown Saw Viper vest, I don't know. I just think it came out crazy cool. I do love the minigun too. They've used it quite a bit, but they put the little extra markings on it there. They flared it up a little bit, but yeah. But to your point, my brother, that is crazy. That is a crazy looking character, and his knife has the blood on it, right? That's the one that gets me every time. So yeah, Grim Reaper is a banger. Totally. This whole wave is absolutely out of control. I opened Mainframe last week. I got Homeboy over here. He comes with so much stuff. I actually put him in a bag so he didn't get knocked around. But Mainframe is completely awesome. As soon as I opened it, I was like, oh wait, this is like, darn it, I'm gonna have to talk about him as being like darn near figure. Let me put this little thing in his hand. This dude is like figure of the year. Now that's me being a prisoner of the moment for sure. Because there's a lot of other really amazing figures this year, but there is so much that's perfect about this. Like in terms of what he looked like, just that enough upglow, right? They give him this little sat phone with the bent wire. He's got the little communicator that hooks up. Like this is, I think on the original one, did it come out of here? Or did it come out of the bottom? I think it came out of a different spot, but it still looks absolutely perfect. Oh, and something else I saw. Does everybody know this? That you have on the side of this thing comes out. So it's like some kind of a hard drive or a mainframe, if you will, that on the side of this laptop. I didn't know it did that. I saw it on the online somewhere, and I wish I could remember who it was. And I was like, oh, what? What is that? And it wasn't visual. That somebody had just said it in a comment, and it took me a minute to figure it out. But yeah, so this dude is amazing. Floppy disk. Thank you, Matt. So yeah, Mainframe totally off the hook. And you know what? Even though I love the original helmet head, the baseball cap with the headset don't look bad at all. So that is a home run figure, absolutely. And like I said, Grim Viper is a banger. So I got this, and I got this to maybe crack open tonight. It's getting late. I might only do one of them, so we'll see. But yeah. So see, just the everybody welcome. My brother Lou, Lucid Base in the house. He is on Figure Fight Club, which is a podcast over that I found. If everybody knows Chris from Sis 3D Arsenal, he was on the podcast, and I was like, oh, I have to check this out. And so they talked for a while. You guys talked for like 3 hours. It was fucking awesome. It was great. It was a great podcast, and like Chris is super good dude, and he makes some really killer shit. And I thought it was awesome that he got his due and got to show off his stuff. And Chris was nice enough to show off a couple of the pics that I've done with his stuff. And so yeah, next thing you know, Lou and I were talking, and they do on Tuesday nights. They do it's kind of like an open mic night where the link is right there. You can just kind of log on, and I have been fixing to get on there one of these nights. I was this close last week, but something came up with the kids, and I was like, yeah, I can't. There's no way I cannot do this. So unfortunately, I didn't make it on there. But and then I think I might be doing something on Monday night, which I don't know. But yeah, so Lou, one of these nights, I'm going to be joining you on a jumping in on one of those open mic nights, which I think is a super cool idea, by the way. I don't think it's the first time I had heard of that, and I was like, wow, that is super cool. But they do shows to like almost the rest. How many shows do you guys do a week? Because there's one that you record. It's on Friday. And then you do the open mic night on Tuesday. So yeah, man, you guys are getting after it. I love it. It was a really fun talk with Chris. He's a great guy. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, you could basically say it's just like it's collabs, like what I do with Chris, what I do with Matt, that's here in the chat from Mo's Mine. Those are collaborations. It's their products, my picture, collaboration. So they've both been super good to work with. But yeah, I'm glad that you had Chris on. I thought that was dope. And it was really, really awesome. And yeah, Tuesday, I will be hopping in there. I was so close. I actually watched I think almost the last half. So I finished up what I was doing, and it was maybe a little bit after 10 or going for 11, and I was like, all right, I I was gonna even comment. I was just like, oh my god, I'm so tired. I don't even want to say anything. But I did. I watched like the last half. I saw you talked about the Grim Viper and Mainframe, and then I think there was a young lady that I saw had a couple had a GI Joe, and yeah, it was very cool. I think it was a very good idea. It was awesome. So everybody can check that out if you want. Again, that's Tuesday. Tuesday, you can find his YouTube Figure Fight Club. Make sure you subscribe, follow the whole thing. So hell yeah, that's awesome. Glad you can make it, brother. Yeah, so to wrap that up, CG Horrors list: the Fang, the Devilfish, the Moccasin, and the Shark. Excellent list. Our brother Snow Leopard asked if anybody said the Imp. And you know what? I don't think anybody said the Imp, but the Imp is really awesome. The way that the driver kind of stands up in the front in that little slot there, and it's just all missiles and treads. I don't know. I love it. I thought it was pretty cool. I think that's a great suggestion. Matt from Mosemine said Mud Fighter, the Desert Fox, and the Stun. Now, the Mud Fighter, I am drawing a total and complete blank on. I have this image in my head where there are these tires that have these weird things on them, and that's what allowed him to get through the mud. I can't really remember. Oh man, I can't think of it to save my life. All right, so my brother Lou says they do the open mic on Tuesdays and live on Friday nights. Also, Decepticast live on Mondays. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, listen. I always say this saying: the rising tide raises all boats. So we all help each other get to the top of the mountain, brother. I love it. Absolutely. So yeah, Tuesdays is the open mic, which I will be getting on there soon. And the Friday night is the live. I love it. Decepticast also live on Mondays. Very, very cool. Make sure you all check that out. Yeah, the Mud Fighter. Great plane with a big fan in the back. Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind. Totally know what you're talking about. Absolutely. That is pretty cool. That is a good shot. I can't believe that nobody else has said that. I can't believe I didn't think of it either. Yeah, no shit. That's pretty dope. I fucking love it. I think the Mud Fighter was a plane. I think it was a large. Yeah, that's it. Lou's got it too. All right, so everybody, you all knew what it was. It took me a second, even when he started to say it, but once it hit, oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That would be pretty cool. That'd be another one of those ones you could hang it. You just have to hang it right because that would be so back heavy with that big propeller. But dude, that would be pretty cool. And shit, why they're making big propellers? Just make the propellers for the Moccasin. Christ, give us the Moccasin. My brother also said the Desert Fox, which yes, please give us that Desert Fox. I thought the shape of that was really cool, and it had like had multiple guns on it, right? There was like 2 in the back and 2 in the front, or was there a big one facing the front and there was 2 coming out of the back? I don't know. I thought it was a super cool ass vehicle, and I'm glad it made it on a couple people's lists. Yeah, and to round it out, the Stun. Listen, the Stun would make an incredible vehicle, and anything that you can put multiple people on and see like that, I think is crazy awesome. That's why one of the things that I love about like the Atlas is when you take that back off, you can put a bunch of figures in there. And I mean, that's obviously on a much grander scale than anything else that we're talking about, but there's something about putting these figures in there, like more than one, and having them do it like with the Awe Striker, where you can put the guy up in the top. I don't know. I love that. I don't know what it is. Even though it's not originally how the Awe Striker came, and I get that everybody wants to have it look. Listen, however it works for you, and make sure you got to do it like that. But I don't know. I just saw I put it together like that, and I was like, oh, that was pretty dope. We'll get a third guy up top, running at 50. It's perfect. But this won't work with these lists. But my favorite of all time was the Night Force Whale. Okay, hey, listen, the Night Force Whale. It'd be like if you could think of one of the like a holy grail kind of find in the OG, that would be that Night Force Whale. If we were to get one in classified, having a Night Force one with that little accent bright orange, oh yeah. I hate when you can't see the figures. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and hey, you know what, Matt? That's a good point. And maybe there was some kind of logic to that when we got all of those, like the Havoc, where Cross Country was right out in the front, like totally getting hit with every bullet known to human existence. Maybe that's why they did that, because why hide the figure? Put the figure right out there where you can see it. Big glass canopies, or the Fang, where the figure is just literally I mean, what would that be? How far above your head would that propeller be if you were in a fang, right? It would be like the equivalent of what, like 3 feet above your head or something like that. So yeah, maybe that's, I never thought about it like that, Matt, but who knows? Maybe that had a lot to do with it. We're like, no, don't design a vehicle where it hides the figure. Make it so you want is a bunch of figures to put in this thing. Very interesting perspective. I love that. But yeah, that works for sure. And the stun, listen, the stun, just yeah. I would love to have that in a classified. It definitely doesn't have to be a HasLab. I think they could squeeze that and make it look right. It doesn't have to be too big. But when I think about the stun, one of the coolest images of the stun is that fucking epic beginning of the G.I. Joe movie, right? Which I have always said, and I'll say it again right now, is that the first the song right into when they're flying, the trouble bubbles come out of the Terrordrome, they go around the outside, Pythona breaking in. It is as good as any fucking 10-15 minutes of however long it is. It's as good as anything I've ever seen. Like that, I know there's a lot about the movie that's, Cobra La, whatever. That beginning of that fucking movie, even spilling right into the end where they're yelling at Cobra Commander, like all of it. But mostly that beginning. It's so cinematic where there's like the up close of the stun coming through the puddle and the alligator and the splash into the water and the way that the trouble bubbles come out and that the trumpet music with the like that shit sends me completely every time. You have no idea how many times I've seen that, and I just absolutely love it because there's times when I'm working, like say down here, and I'm not necessarily like setting up a shot or anything, but this shot, the studio is still a work in progress. So there's sometimes where I'm just trying to organize real quick, and I'll just put that on because the song and then the music in the beginning, and then all of it, the blunderers, the whole thing. It's just fantastic, and I'll endlessly watch it. But yeah. When I think of this stun, that's like what I think about is that part where like the stun comes and there's the splashing of the up close to the tire. I mean, who the fuck drew that shit? And the like, I can remember something that very vivid memory. The first time I saw the G.I. Joe movie, and I saw like that song where they're all coming down in the like the balloons. First of all, the balloons going up just looked so cool. You were like, wow, holy shit! And then you saw the Cobras all coming out of that huge ship in the air, and they're coming down with the big Grundle shot. But when they hit the ground and the Crimson Viper punches the camera, that's when, as a kid, I was like, oh, fucking shit. It is on. He just punched that camera. The whole world saw that. And yeah, I'll never forget that as a kid. That was just like something that I absolutely loved. And when I think about it, yeah, I listened to the movie intro and song. Yeah, absolutely. It gets me fired the hell up. I've mentioned it a couple times. I've mentioned too. So one of my lifelong brothers locally. I've been super close with him forever. He's the lead singer in a metal band, and there's a big scene up here. Has always been for a very long time. I know a lot of different people, but this gentleman in particular still is actively in a band, and I know the rest of the guys too. They're all great. And I asked them if they wanted to do a song for the podcast. So once I get it all figured out, I can put music in the beginning, like when I'm first coming on and everything. And he said that they almost certainly are going to do that. And I presented him with a few options. I was like, just think about it, but you can just allow me to use something you've already written, which is all amazing, or you could write something new that would for this particularly, in which case we'd work something out for that. But then I was like, yo, what if you guys tried to do a music version of the beginning of the movie, that whole thing, right? Because I dabble a little myself, and we could do overlapping vocals and how they do the cobra, and there's different ranges and everything. I would love to try to do that. Now, I don't know if we'll ever be able to make that happen or not, but I love the idea of it, and hopefully maybe we could work something out. But yeah, my brother's band is Balor, Balor. They have a YouTube. They're on all the socials, and they're fantastic. They actually have a new 4-song EP coming out that rocks the house. I've been listening to it for like a couple weeks. I don't think it's quite out yet. I think they're having a CD release party and everything sometime soon. And it's don't get me wrong, it's heavy. I know my boy Snow Leopard will like it because he likes it heavy. Stevie Z may like it. I think he likes some of that. I'm trying to think of who else in the chat is a big heavy metal guy. Yeah. So I guess I'm not sure everybody on that. I know that this is not radio metal. This is kind of shit you don't hear on the radio. It's heavy, but it's really good too. So you should definitely go and check that out. And then hopefully we got that song on in the beginning. So yeah, thank you, Matt from Mo's Mind. That was a dope fucking list. Thank you so much. Mudfighter, what a great call. Never even thought about it. Already, yes, no leverage. Google it. You got it. BALOR. Yeah. Yep. Stevie Z. Again, leading it off. We got an Arma motherfucking Dillo. Like I said, it was the most requested one. What a super awesome thing. Actually, all of Stevie's are really great. So the Armadillo is really dope. I really hope we wind up getting something like that. I think it would be fantastic. Stevie also said the Pogo. I mean, I really think that the Pogo would be cool. I could see the red. Like when I think of the red, I think about the red that's on the that all the Hiss guys have, right? Like, I mean, hell, if you actually look at his chest, there's two different reds there. But the deeper of the two, like right there on the back, like I love that deep red. I think it's like the Hiss team is just the Fire team is the best shit. But I think that would be incredibly dope. So hopefully maybe we get something like that in a nice deep red, because if you remember, it wasn't Cobra Red. It was definitely like a maroon sort of something or other. But yeah, that shit was fucking awesome. So that would really be cool if we get that. Who said that first? Big Red, the birthday boy? Birthday boy said it first, I think, right? Awesome. Very good. Very good. How was that birthday cake, brother? Was that shit good? What kind of cake do you like? Me, I'm a cookie cake kind of fucker. I will eat the shit out of the cookie cake. A lot of times, regular cakes have a little too much icing on the top, and it's like the sugar blast for me. But I will eat the living hell out of a cookie cake. So yeah, Stevie Z, great call. Armadillo, Pogo, and then another really good one, the Polar Battle Bear. So how awesome! Again, that's got to be coming, right? If we've got all this, we've got the Snowcats coming, the Arctic Hiss we know is coming. Once we get something like a polar bear, a Polar Battle Bear that you can put like the. I mean, it would make sense. Somebody like Iceberg. He only came with one gun. Give him that one fucking gun and put him on the polar bear. So yeah, good stuff. German chocolate with coconut frosting. Oh, nice. Ooh, god damn. That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff. Oh, Chris from Sister Arsenal in the house. What's up, brother? We were just talking about you and your awesome appearance on Figure Fight Club. Lou is in the house. So nice, very good. Just another jerk. What a cool one. That's some black metal, brother. I'll give it a listen. Nice, very good, very good. German chocolate with coconut frosting. Damn, that ain't no average run of the mill cake, man. That sounds fucking cool as shit. Very good, very good. Yeah, that is great. So Armadillo, Pogo, and then a Polar Battle Bear. That's right. Winter is coming, Chris. So let's give us that Polar Battle Bear. Fucking now, I don't know. Is it over for the year? Like everything else that we guys coming is going into the next year. But how cool would it be if they were just like, oh, by the way, we've got this here. Come and get it. I would fucking buy it. I mean, the price point on that would have to be just right. You figure, I don't know. When I think about, I mean, Chris, when I look at the missile systems, right? Those missile systems are huge, and they came with a figure. I feel like you could do that perfectly for somewhere right in that same price point, and I'm buying, no question. Now the adder, I'm trying to remember exactly what that looked like, and I think I remember it, and I think I remember it being fucking awesome. I can't. When I'm thinking of it, it keeps morphing into the imp for some reason. When I keep trying to think of it, I keep thinking of the imp. My mind keeps going back to the imp. But I do remember liking the adder. I remember that name. Anybody want to drop a description or something, and I'll come back to it. But Stevie also says the asp. And listen, the asp, I fucking loved it. There's having the blue asp or one of these OG blue troopers in there. It just looks so ridiculously cool. Now, the thing about coming out with an asp now is there's nothing blue to tow it, right? I don't know if you could hook that up to a ferret, but I would want something to match. Little truck with ICBMS on the back. Long vehicle, 2 large missiles. Oh, yeah. Yes. Dark blue with 2 gray missiles. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm starting to see it now. This is why I need to have the ability to use my phone while I'm being recorded on my, whatchamacallit. Added with Slim. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, now I totally remember now. I've seen somebody has 3D printed it and that now, oh, dude, that is a fucking great call, Stevie. That would be fucking dope. That would be dope. Uh, yes. Okay. I'm on it. I'm on it. So back to the asp though. If they came out with an asp now, I would almost want it black so I could tow it with the hiss or a stinger, right? If it came navy blue, I don't want to sound like a weirdo, but it would just look weird on the back of the back of the blue stinger. So now with that being said, I have three stingers. One is still in the box, and I almost want to have something, like I wish I could have that professionally painted blue. Honestly, I wish I had because that Cobra blue has always meant something like it hits. It just hits so hard. You know what I mean? Almost fully exposed driver. Yes, Big Red. Thank you. Yeah, 100%. That fucker was right up in front. That's why I kept thinking the imp because he's right in the front like the imp, like he's in that same kind of a weird thing right there. But nice. Okay, thank you, fellas. I appreciate it. Definitely corrected me right away on that. Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, so an ass though, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna tow it with in that blue? All right, now we're gonna have to get going on Conrad's list because Conrad gave us a list and a half, which is good. Which is good. I love it when he does that. Oh no, wait, our boy New York Knights. He said iceberg and a polar battle bear, which I think is, as I've said a couple times, seems like a really great idea. Oh, dude, I spilled a little water on my paper. What were you had a second one? New York Knights, you had a second one. Iceberg, polar battle bear, and there's definitely another one. Lower. Python Patrol asks, "Oh, Mo, you got it. That sounds fucking killer." Yes. You can use the adder seat to mount a shark. Figure can sit up instead of laying down face first. Works well in Night Force version. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. You can use the adder seat to mount a shark. Figure can sit up instead of laying down. Fuck yes, Snow Leopard. That's great intel right there. All right, so New York Knights, your list. Iceberg, polar battle bear, but then there's another one that I dropped water on it, and I can't read it. I mean, the writing is total trash too. Don't get me wrong. Man, you're gonna tell me, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, free fall with the locust." Thank you. Now, the locust is that big bubble in the front, little propeller, kind of not much behind it. It almost looks like a front-loaded fucking bumblebee or some shit like that. Yeah. That's the one. I love it. That's a good call. I gotta find a pen that I don't need to warm up. One that just works. So that's a great call. You know what? Now that I'm surprised. I'm surprised you're the only one that said that. No shit. Yeah, because now that I think about that vehicle, it's like a perfect size. It's everything. Oh, Mo, I can't stop thinking about the Python Patrol asp. Good lord. Holy hell. All right. We're gonna get to the Omega list. So Conrad has named a few. I had to Google a bunch because I just, for the life of me, couldn't think of a bunch of them. And I'm going to start from the bottom of the list up because it's a lot. The bottom one is like where a lot of them, maybe I'm sure we're all going to be Googling and using our minds. So the first one, it's not that hard. The Vamp from 2011, which I believe is just the kind of you know what? I didn't Google that, and I bet it's not what I think. So in 2011, that must have been one of those lines where it was a slightly different. So you know what? I wish I had Googled that because I thought I knew what it was. But yeah, listen, at this point, give us any kind of vamp. I got mine because our brother Chuckin' and Truckin' was nice enough to give me a very fair market value on. I'm sorry, under fair market value for one, which I am endlessly appreciative. I needed to have that vehicle But I didn't want to spend that money. If I spend that money, I'd rather get shit from that, right? But that Vamp, I had to have it, especially with the two MMS systems, the shot I had planned, it had to have it. You had to have sticky tack in place. What are we sticky tacking, fellas? So Vamp 2011, check. That one's good. Doom Cycle. Now, that I actually kind of remembered. And you know what it reminded me of? Did anybody have the three-wheeler as a kid, right? So you had the handlebars like this that were covered. And there was like a little trigger on the thumb, something like that. And then it had the dual Gatling guns that came off the front of it. Now, they didn't spin or whatever. It was just injection molded plastic. But how fucking cool was that? I thought I was the shit. I vividly remember that. I remember the block I lived on. The kid, Chris, that lived down the street, he was a crazy kid. And he was like 2 years older, maybe. So I remember he had a bike, and I wasn't big enough yet. And I remember we used to drive back and forth. And dude, I love that thing. Oh, sticky tack the adder seat and the shark. Oh, thank you, Snow Leopard. Thank you. Yeah, very cool, very cool. That's great info, brother. So yeah, that who anybody else have that three-wheeler as a kid? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it was the tricycle, right? Where you sat real low to the ground, it was all plastic, and you pedaled up front, and it said G.I. Joe, and right on top of it, it had Gatling guns. I had that, and I also had the Chips motorcycle. Does anybody fucking remember that? It was the full shield in the front and everything. There's a picture of me somewhere sitting on that thing, and I was happy as a motherfucker. Now, I know I'm really aging myself. Some of you young bucks are probably like, well, did she just say chips? Like potato chips? And yeah, as in the California Highway Patrol, motherfucker. Yeah, chips was awesome. But yeah, anybody else have that cycle? I definitely had that tricycle, and it was awesome. So Doom Cycle reminded me of that. It's a great shout. Now, the Mole Pod, which is from the first G.I. Joe movie. I always get the names mixed up. One is The Rise of Cobra, and one is Retaliation. So The Rise of Cobra, I had a pedal tractor. Oh, nice. That's what's up. I remember the big wheel with the squirrel gun. Nice, cool. That's good. Big rat. I'm glad somebody remembered. Oh wait, oh yeah, they had one with a different actual gun like up there or something like that. Yeah. What the hell was that one? There was definitely one that was different. I remember. I think it was the one. Holy shit, you're right. Did that work? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what those thumb things were. Or was it something separate where it was on the top? Like, I think that's what it was, right? Where you had to take your hand off the handle and squirt the fucking thing or something like that. But I do remember that, dude. Holy shit. That memory. Holy hell. Yeah. Wow. That is awesome. But the Mole Pod that Conrad's talking about is the one from the Rise of Cobra where they raid the pit and the little pods that boom, they bust out. And the movie, it just obliterates the dude as it comes through. How fucking cool is that? But yeah. So they did make those, and it looks cool. Yo, some of those 3 3/4 figures from that movie, the Viper ones, are not bad figures. Like, I have one, I could pull it down right now. It came with 2 dope, like legit dope guns, a backpack that's awesome. The sculpt and the colors are off the chain. They're really, really cool. So it's not surprising that some of that stuff made this list, especially with Conrad loving all of it. But for sure. Mole Pod, great shout. Next one is the Ninja motorcycle, which I believe the one he's discussing that we all just probably saw. Doc Sewage just posted the other day. So Homeboy made it with Snake Eyes version 5 because he does that. He does a Joe a day. Snake Eyes version 5, and he's standing in front of the Ninja Force motorcycle. It's like purple and pink and wild and the whole thing. But yeah, pretty sought after type thing. If we're getting all the Ninja Force figures anytime in the future, then it would be dope if we got that, right? Because who do we got? It's what do you call it? The Arctic is the Arctic Storm Shadow? Is that a Ninja Force? Did they label that Ninja Force? And then that's it, I think. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe they venture. So yeah, Ninja motorcycle, send it. Ice Saber. I granted I had to kind of look this up, and I did remember it instantly. So it is white with what looks like some Alley Viper or Annihilator colors, right? I don't remember which one it was, but something like that. It was pretty dope. I thought it was a good shot. The next one was also pretty cool that I kind of didn't know about was the defense mech. So basically what it looked like, the picture I saw real quick, I couldn't tell if a figure went in it or not, but even if it doesn't, it'd be something to combat the snake armors, right? How cool would that be? So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And yeah, so that would be dope. I think that's a pretty good shout. So Desert Coyote. Regrettably, I think this is one of those ones that I initially looked at and I was like, oh, I know what that is. And so I didn't Google it. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, right. Just another jerk. Nunchuck, Slice and Dice are Ninja Force. Thank you. Thank you very much. I was going to say, I knew there was somebody else. I just couldn't remember what the fuck it was. And that's, yeah, for sure. That's what's up. So the Rage. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I skipped one. Ring Neck. It looked like a something you'd see roll into an urban environment. It's got that cobra blue gray. There's some missiles on it. It's very impish, but stretched out a little bit longer. Very cool. Very good show. I love it. That was good. I remember the ring. I don't remember where that's from, but as soon as I saw the picture, I was like, "Ooh, did I have that? Did somebody have that?" I feel like I played with it a lot. Desert Coyote is like the locust version of the Striker. Okay, I love it. Thank you. Good. That's that good description, Matt. Thank you. So the Badger. So the Badger was cool. I think it might have been the last vehicle I got. I think I've said that before. It might have been the last vehicle that I bought myself. It was that bright neon, but it came with that blue that was almost purple. And I don't know, it was one of those things. It just worked. I loved it as a kid. It stuck out. It was a little different, but the shape of the vehicle and the way that it was set up was perfect. And the colors worked for me. Neon colors be damned. Otherwise, for the most part, and a lot of the shit. But I don't know. I love it. I've come to accept all of GI Joe in a sense. Like I always have. Like I know it's the crazy shit that makes it what it is, right? Anybody that could just make regular action figures, which when you're able to have such a line that has so many figures that you can make one that has such a crazy looking thing, and it doesn't matter because there are so many other choices. But because it's a sum of its parts for sure. And the fact that they do all this crazy shit, I absolutely love it. So yeah, the Badger, give it to me. Destro's AGP, the anti-gravity pod, totally awesome. Now that came with that weird ass figure that was very cool looking. Like I think it was Mark from Destro's My Spirit Animal said that it looked almost more alien-like. Now I can't see it any other way. It definitely looks like a crazy bio mech alien suit and the mask. It looks a lot more alien than it does anything else. But it's dope. And I would take it with or without the figure, but I think that's a great, like size-wise, colors, like the whole thing. I think that could wind up being that could be money. So that's a good one too. And here, another shout for the Desert Fox. Fucking, you got to give the fans what they want, and the Desert Fox is one of them. I think the Desert Fox might be second behind. No, because the Moccasin got quite a few, but the Desert Fox is fucking sought after. We want it. Crossfire. Damn it, I can't remember what that looks like, but I do remember when I Googled it, I was like, fuck yeah, we definitely need that. So you all probably know what it is, or you're Googling Crossfire. My note was wicked cool little ripper needed. That was my note. But I honestly, I don't remember what it looks like, but I do remember now. Yeah. Originally a Cobra Law figure. Oh, Big Red with the shout. Perfect. So that figure, did that figure come with anything else I had, but I never hit the gap? Oh, okay. Yeah, the AG. I don't believe the figure came with anybody yet. Actually came out, but as Big Red says, it was originally a Cobra Law figure, and that makes so much sense because the mask and the whole thing. I mean, God, if they just painted it like a little bit of a different color to look more like the Cobra Guard, or no, screw it, the colors would even be fine like that, I think. But that's an amazing piece of intel, Red. Fucking perfect. Just put a visor pussy hat, right? I just slip that on it, it'll be fine. That's a good call. So yeah, Crossfire. Hopefully everybody's seen it. Now we're getting into the ones that are a little more common. But listen, I love Conrad for that ultra diverse list. Like there's a lot of shit on there. Some of these are absolute needs, right? Like I feel like the Badger feels like something that would be cool. I don't know if the colors would fly, but the Destro's AGP, I think that seems like something we need. But the next one is something I would really, really love because I fucking loved it as a kid. The Ice Wolf, right? So, I had that as a kid. I remember having it for a long time. I remember taking care of it. I remember making sure the missiles were always in there. I remember the things that came off the top and the canopies, right? Those glass canopies or the plastic glass. I remember loving that vehicle, but it needed to be intact with the skis in the front. I just thought it was so